Okay, so hello everyone and welcome back to the second lesson in this series of Introduction to the BBC Microbit. So today we're going to be looking at the next part, which is variables and inputs, and we're going to explain what those are and how we can use those with our BBC Microbit. If you haven't already watched lesson 1 that was on sequences, you should go back and watch that first. And today we're going to be moving on to the next part of this topic, okay? So on the screen you can see my BBC Microbit here, and we're going to be looking at this LED matrix, they call it here. So we used it last lesson to do some basic text editing. We're going to do some more work with this today, and you'll also see there is two things either side of it. These are buttons, and we're going to use those as our inputs for our BBC Microbit today. So input. And I think we talked about this the last lesson, what makes a computer. And don't forget, it has an input, and then you can see the processor is over here, and then this is the output in the case of the BBC Microbit. So yes, it is a computer. See if you can identify those things on the back of your BBC Microbit. So you should be able to find these items and the buttons on the front, and see if you can find those today. Okay, so let's start with the first part of our topic here. What is a variable? Okay, so if you want to pause for a second and think about what is a variable? Okay, what is it? Okay, so we should have a chance to think about that. And in programming, we use this thing called variables. You might have heard of them in science. A variable is something that changes in a science experiment, for example. But in this case, for computer programming, it is about storing a value somewhere. Okay, so if you can think of it like a box where you put some information and then you can retrieve it later. Okay, so you'll often hear it being talked about in programming. You declare a variable, and basically it's somewhere to store something, where you store a value or some text or whatever you want to store there. Okay, and we give it a label, and then we know we can store it. So for example, in this case, it's got name, and then inside there you can store a name of something, or a name of a person even. Okay, so first things we're going to do is we're going to use our BBC Microbit, and we're going to start using the LED screen a little bit more on the front, and we're going to draw some LEDs. Okay, but just before we start, just make sure you have the correct equipment. So I'm just going to switch over to my camera here. So you should have, if you need an adapter for the small newer computers, you need one of those. You need a cable, of course, and the BBC Microbit. So on there, you might see, for example, what I was just talking about. Here is the buttons, and then this is the LED screen on the front. Okay, so you can hear the buttons. We can press those, and use those as an input. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using today. So let's get over to our website that we've been using to start building this here. So this is our we're going to try and build this image, so then we can download it onto our BBC Microbit. Okay, so I'm just going to switch over to the website. The website again is called makecode.microbit.org. It's on the top there. makecode.microbit.org. Okay, and if you are just new to this, you will start here, and I've already made one, but you can create a new project, and we can call it lesson 2 in this case, and it's I'm just going to do images, for example, today. Okay, create. Okay, so again, we'll need to make sure we can connect our BBC Microbit here before we start making some code. So it says here connect the device. Okay, so down the bottom here, I just noticed that's a bit incorrect, so let's just change that a little bit. Yeah, there we go, we can see that better now. Okay, so down the bottom here is connect. So we click on these 3 dots to make sure we connect. Okay, so before we do that, we need to make sure we've connected up our BBC Microbit. So I'm just going to switch over to the camera here. So I need the adapter for my one, so I'm going to put in the adapter there. You can see, plug it in, correctly, of course. Plug it into the computer and then plug it into our BBC microbit. Okay, so plug it in to here and it should connect. Okay, there we go. So that should be connected. If it's connected properly, the light at the back should be turned on. Then you know it's connected. Okay, so we'll just leave that there. And I'm going to switch back to the browser here. And I'm going to click on those three dots now. And it says connected here, so I'm just going to show you how to do that from the start again. Okay, so just to show you what it looks like. I'm going to close these off here so I can see here. And we just need to reload. So I'll just show you exactly how to connect again. So if you click on the three dots, click on connect device, click on next, and next again. You'll see up here it says BBC microbit. Click on that. Actually, I'll switch over to desktop because you'll see that better. So if it says try again, you can just try again. So click next, next, and then up here, yeah, there you go, BBC microbit, and then click on connect. Okay, and it says your BBC microbit is now connected. Okay, so we're going to take the forever block here. Okay, and we're going to take the basic, and we're going to show LEDs here. Okay, so I'm just going to turn on some LEDs here. I'm going to just quickly paint some on here. Okay, there we go. So if you know Minecraft, you might think it looks a bit like an ender crystal. So it should show up here on the display, and then if we want to click and we want to download it here, and if I switch over to my BBC microbit camera, you will see there we are. There is our image on there. Okay, so you should be able to do that one now. Try it out. So what I want you to do next then is to if I just switch over here back to my presentation. So here on this activity screen, I want you to design your own image, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So if I just escape from that, you can see here's my image. So I'm going to show you how I did mine. So if I click here, you'll see there's an option at the top that says table design. So you have to come up with your own design of image. So here I'm going to start shading. So you can see the one I did today. I made a shading, so I'm going to shade it there like so. And you just keep clicking. So select the cell, click on it, select the cell, click on it, select the cell, and click on it. Okay. And again, just select the rest of them here. So you come up with your own design. This is just my example, okay? But you come up with your own design of an image and put it on this grid. And then, of course, you've seen that the one I used actually here was a different one. This is another one. This is like a grid display here. So this is the one I used. You can add it. You can add that one to your. So you can put that in there, and then once you've done it, you should take a screenshot and place it here. Okay, so if I go back to my here, so it's Command-Shift-4 on the keyboard on the Mac. Take a screenshot like so, and then what you want to do is then insert here, and we want to go pictures from file, and it'll be the last one on your desktop there, and you should put that on too. Okay, so that's your first two activities actually. So the first one is to design it on here, and then to take a screenshot of your code and add it here. Okay, so that's the first two activities. So you should be able to do that one. Straightforward. You can take a bit of time, pause the video here, and try and complete that task. Okay. So for this one then, you should define 2 more custom images and display them with a pause between each one. Okay, so again, I'm going to switch over to here, and I'm going to add another image. I'm going to put it in here, and I wanted the other option, a basic one, again, and it's a pause. So I'm going to put the pause between the two, and I'm going to just switch my image a little bit here, so it looks a bit different, and I'm going to change it like that, so then it should flash between the two here. Okay, so again, let's download that, and I'll switch over to my camera here, and you should see it flashing between the 2 images. Okay, so again, up to you now to decide and design your own 2 images there and get them to flash. Once you've got that, then again you should take a screenshot of this code. So if I switch back to my desktop here, so again I'm going to take a screenshot of that and place it into my presentation. Okay, so I'm going to place it in here. Again, it's in insert, picture from file, and it's the last one I did there, insert. So you might need to make it a bit smaller so it fits in here. Okay, so it should work there. Okay, so again, it should paste it into this one. Okay, and the next line has a list of lots and lots of images that you've done before, maybe. Slideshow from here. So again, you can see lots of images there, and you can choose lots of different images. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a little animation or a little animated story with our. So create an animation using different built-in images. So we've done a basic one. So we're going to try and use some of the basic built-in ones. I'm going to show you how to do those first. Okay, so if I get rid of these, put them in here, and we're going to go to basic, and there's one I like to use actually here, and again we want to pause between them, and we want show icon again here, and there should be a small one, so it should show up here then. It looks like a beating heart there, so a little simple animation. So again, you can choose different ones here. I could have a happy and sad face, for example. Happy, sad face. Okay. You could have, let me think. You could have a ghost and a skull, for example. Okay, so I'm just going to put it back to the heart one. Quite like the heart one. Okay, so now, again, I want you to download that onto your BBC Microbit. And when it stops flashing, you can see, there we go. We've got a beating heart this time. So again, I want you to take a screenshot of that one. Here it is. Go to my presentation here, and again insert the code, or insert the screenshot of your code here. Place it into your thing. Okay, so we've got the basics there. Now what I want you to do this time, I'm not going to give you any help. You have to create 3 custom images and use those in the same idea that I've done here and here as well. So 3 custom images, and create a simple animation based on those 3 custom images. Okay, so you can pause the video here and try and complete that task. Make your own images, and I'll just show you quickly again how to make your own images. So I can just dump those here. Basic, I can just grab the LED block here and I can make my own custom images like so. and then you can add a pause between them here, okay? And then you can add another one. So we need to have 3. So that's 2. And another pause here. And another image. Okay. So again, 3 custom images. And you can zoom out a wee bit if you want to see a bit more there. So yeah, I want 3 custom images. So, oh, not very good, that one. But you get the idea. Okay, so you should try that one now. And place your screenshot in this slide 2.5. Okay, so that's what you should do next. Okay, so you should give you a bit of time to do that, and then we'll move on to the next part. Okay, slideshow. Okay, so we've looked at images now, and we looked at what is a variable. Next up is using inputs here. Okay, so using inputs, we're going to use 2 inputs here, button A and button B. So we're going to try and use this on our BBC microbit. So whenever we press the button A, it should have this output. When we press button B, it should show this output. Okay, so let's see if we can get that set up then. So I can get rid of these for now, make it a bit bigger. Okay, so here then I'm going to take the input button here. Just click on input. I'm going to grab the input here. I'm going to grab 2 of those. One's for A and one's for B. And I'm going to have my images here. So again, I'm going to quickly draw my images that I want, like that, and then button B, gonna use that one. Again, I put those in there. This one, okay. There we go. So now my BBC microbit will respond to 2 inputs, either button A or button B. And you can even, I think, add 2 buttons, I think, here. If we go to, do that one. Oh yeah, it says it on here. Both of them are on here. So if I go here, I can have another option if I want it. And this time, for example, we could make all of the lights shine on here, like so. Okay, so let's try and see, does that work then? And again, I'm going to download that. I'm going to click download. I'm going to switch over to my microbit camera. Okay, so you'll notice that there's nothing on the screen at the moment. So what we need to do then is to have an input here. Okay, so we need to press a button basically. Okay, here, so let's have a look and see how it works. So if I press on here, press A, you see it shows that image. If I press B, it shows that image. And of course, if I press both images, both buttons, it shows them all. Okay, so there we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so again, let's see what you can come up with this time, and let's see if you can get it to work. And this will be task 2.6. Create 3 custom images and create an animation using the 3 images. So just like I've done, but this time it's over to you to make up those 3 images and then paste the screenshots in here. Okay, so that's it for today's lesson, and make sure you've completed all of the activities. All of the blue slides should have an activity completed on there, and make sure you've done that before you submit your work today. Okay, see you in the next one.